You have now entered the lab, episode 129, recording on July 8th, 2024, Monday night at 8:02 p.m. Thank you for entering. Took a couple of weeks off, or 1 week off. It's been 2 weeks since we last recorded, and a lot has happened as far as sports, entertainment, combat sports, a lot of fun things news-wise, and also in our personal lives, vacations happening. So we'll go over, kind of keep it efficient as we go over every topic to kind of cover things that I would have loved to cover when they happened last week, but I was away. So it was good to hang out a little bit. We'll get into that in a moment. Episode sponsor, Broward Vintage. I am rocking a vintage Florida Panther crew neck that was gifted from Broward Vintage. Appreciate him. As always, shop online. He's on vacation for a few couple days, so the uploads will be a little scarce. But it's always good if you have the eBay app. I have noticed that you get alerts when your favorite sellers upload every single day, so it's almost like a live feed. It's pretty dope to kind of see what they're posting, because obviously once it goes up on eBay, somebody bids for it, it's gone the next day. So something to keep in mind. Fort Sama, how are you? Great seeing you last week. How was your last couple of weeks off, or last week off, and how you spend the holidays?
Shit, it was good to see you. It was good that you got some time with us here. Mm-hmm. Felt good to have you as pretty much my first official guest. Our first official guest. I was able to host. It was a good time. With furniture, right? Yeah, 100%. Before we get into all that, like you said, episode brought to you by Broward Vintage, locally sourced in South Florida, vintage and new men's and women's clothing. Shop on eBay. Link is in the bio in our link tree. Or you can DM Broward Vintage for items you want to potential sell clothes as well. Trade, whatever you want to do. Like Ray just said, my guy is on vacation, but hit him up anyways. He'll see it once he's back. It don't matter. Or download the eBay app and check it out. A lot of positive reviews on there. So
yes, sir.
No, my 4th was cool. I was off. Very surprised.
How many days? Yeah, just for the 4th. Actual day?
Okay. Just today, yeah. Very surprised. I pulled up my schedule from Publix, and I seen that I was off, and I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't work at a jewelry store either. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit at the house, go to the pool, chill, drink,
love it,
and take a day. You know, Shorty had some friends over, and we grilled, made some burgers, dog. It was a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously, yeah. So for my week or my last, I'd say 10 days, took off last week, but just to kind of go in chronological order, because we could go kind of back and forth with most of the things I talk about. We record episode 128 on Monday. We log off immediately. It was 51-minute quick episode, efficient episode to watch Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. It was wild. I've been going out. I've been going to the arena for the games. This time, nothing worked. They lost 3 in a row. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay. I'm gonna keep my ass at home. Stayed home. Bree watched it, and a couple of my neighbors came over. Kept it simple. Wild game. I got absolutely hammered after. We stayed up late, and then great game, great quality. They win. You know, that emotion has passed. If we recorded the next week or the same week after, it would be a lot different. But, you know, it was a couple of weeks ago. I woke up the next morning at 11:30 a.m. to text that mostly everybody I knew or that cared about the Panthers were at Elbow Room since like 10 a.m., 9:30. And
they were out there early.
Panthers themselves were out there at like 8:39. I think they probably went to sleep for an hour. If not, didn't go to sleep. Within 30 minutes, I'm en route to Elbow Room, already hungover. Had a Miller Lite for breakfast. Went outside the Elbow Room. It was pretty dope. I got, got to see the cup, hanging out, and then they started leaving one by one because I was a little late. Got some autographs, which I should have had in my hat. Maybe I'll grab it at one point. Got some autographs from 5 of the players overall in the day. Came back home after that, exhausted, rested up. Then we went out to dinner. We're having dinner literally 1 block away from, or 2, maybe a block and a half away from where the Florida Panthers are having their post-dinner party, Stanley Cup in hand. Long story short, I find my way in there sweating. I touched the cup like 4 or 5 times. They're all raising. I have pretty sick videos. Memories that will last a lifetime. I know I'm a new fan the last couple of years, but I went all in after last year. So I watched basically every single game. I went to double-digit amount of games, went to playoff games. So it was a fun ride. I picked the right year to root for a brand new team, that's for sure. So, let's let's hope that you this year with the Yankees can reciprocate that same feeling of rooting for a new team and then win in the first year. I would love for that. Oh my God, that would be amazing. But great time. I was obviously going to Myrtle Beach. So I knew I was going to miss the parade, which, we got to that day, elbow room, hanging out, getting autographs, pictures with the guys, interacting with them, touching the cup. That was better than individual experience at the parade. So it was good to have that. All my friends that were there, I was jealous, living vicariously through them. So that part of it was fun. And then went to Myrtle Beach, met up with you, which was pretty dope. Got to see meet your girl and hang out for the night. It was good to have that because I drove 8 hours total with how long it took. And it was good to at least have something like that where we could just keep it low key. So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you got to do that. It was funny because we were already in Savannah. You met up with us in Savannah, and then we drove back to where we stay. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'm really not trying to drive all the way back out here.
Back, yeah.
I was like, let's hope Ray and Bree trying to just have a chill night. So that's exactly what we did. Yeah. And it was
it's
great.
funny. I didn't know that's what you wanted to do.
Tequila.
We didn't know we were gonna want to keep it simple and not knowing. We all 4 of us knew what we hoped the other person would want to do. No one just talked about it until one minute we were just like, you all want to say, and we're like, couldn't say less. There was no way I was gonna get already. I wore the same clothes for like 48 hours after that too. So I was not trying to shower.
Stink, bro. That's nasty.
Good thing all I was in a car, so I didn't actually do anything. So probably didn't stink that bad. But yeah, that was a good time. Always keeping it simple is better. You know what I mean? Especially when you're meeting somebody or you're meeting, 4 people.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Meeting each other.
100%.
Know each other, because then when you go to a club, like we're not having a conversation, loud music. It's just
people bumping into you, all that shit, stepping on your shoes, grabbing up on you.
Got to chill. That was a good vibe. And then obviously not much to say about Myrtle Beach. Relaxing. 3rd time we've done it. I love Myrtle Beach. The vibes, what we do there, it's really relaxing. It's my favorite vacation because I get to do absolutely nothing for the most part. Wake up late, eat lunch, go down to the beach, come back up, eat dinner, and then just hang out the rest of the night. So it was very fun. And then got back when I get back Sunday. Got back Sunday after a long drive. Stayed in St. Augustine Saturday night. Went to the Fountain of Youth, not physically, because we went to go to the Fountain of Youth, and then it was like $22 per person to get in. We were like, let's Google. Yeah, we were like, let's Google what this Fountain of Youth looked like. It's literally like 2 dribbles of water coming down on like. It looked like from the pictures, it looked like a sewerage or like some type of. I don't know. It didn't look as glamorous as you would think a Fountain of Youth
would look like. No,
for $22. Obviously, it's a historical site. Well, it's a historical site, so there's other things to see and do. But I wasn't going to pay $22 to just go see a couple dribbles of water in the, by a piece of by a tree or a reservoir or whatever.
Who discovered the Fountain of Youth?
I had a picture of it. Was it Ponce de Leon? He did.
I'm pretty sure it was Ponce de Leon.
Look, I bought this Florida
flag.
I got it at the Trump store. I don't know. It makes sense to wave it then with Ponce de Leon. Yeah, he's the goat of South Florida, I guess, or Florida in general, if you want to make it. St. Augustine, first settlement, first city of America.
City, yeah. I've been out there. It's nice. It's cool.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, no offense to you, but I think I like it better than Savannah. After
yeah, I mean,
only for personal reasons that like I don't want to name on this. We already talked about it, but it's a little rough out there in the streets of Savannah when you go from block to block.
It looks like it, bro. It looks like it, but it's really not.
No, it's really nice. Not. It's nice, but I like the St. Augustine vibe just for the historical sense. I like that. We went to the fort, and that's basically it for my boring vacation. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Thanks for taking off the week with me. I got to at least fully experience that week. So now we're back at it. 129.
Back at it.
A lot of. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just said back at it.
Yep. A lot of things to get into, so let's not waste any time. Last time we left you, let's see if we're going to go a little chronologically, right? Might as well vibe on that. So obviously Panthers win. Next day's a Panthers. South Florida going crazy. Parades on that Sunday. During that week, I leave for heading to you on that Friday. But what happened the day before? We won't touch on it politically. Let's just have a laugh. Why not? Everybody else touches on it. Thursday, the debate happens. You want to go back another day? Was there something in between that?
Oh, no. I'm just doing the Trump hand gestures.
Okay. Yeah. What did you just think about? Keep it lighthearted, keep it fun, because we don't have to pick side. We don't have to do all that. We could just have fun with it, like everybody else did on Twitter. What was your take on it? If you did watch it or watch highlights, I happen to watch it in full live.
I only saw a bit of it because it was Thursday, right? So
yeah, Thursday night.
Tuesday I worked
9 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. Tuesday I worked all day. I had an overnight at Publix from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked at Publix Wednesday night, 5 to 10 or 6 to 10 or whatever. So Thursday I worked at K. So no sleep. And it's funny because I seen that shit that Trump posted, that reel, talking about Bidenica, making fun of Biden and how you pass out and fall asleep and all that shit.
Oh, jeez.
And I got home at like 7:30 and we doing some stuff around the house. And Shorty wanted to watch it too. I was like, cool, let's sit on the couch and watch it. And
there wasn't anything else on that you could watch.
Nothing else, yeah.
So,
I'm not even watching it. I'm not even watching it for political stuff because I'm not worried about what they're going to say, because whatever they're going to say is a bunch of bullshit. They're not going to do anything that they're going to say.
Exactly.
Shit's not going to change. It's going to be the same exact shit we done. Yeah. It might get a little bit better. It might get a little bit worse. We don't know. That's the whole fun. So I told her, I was like, I'm just trying to watch it for comedic purposes. She's like, me too. I'm bet. Got some snacks, sit down watching it. Man, I fell asleep in less than an hour. Them two dudes just going back and forth. The funniest thing that I was able to see was when Biden goes like, "Oh, I'm a 6 handicap in golf."
That was the best part. Like that was the only
he's lying to you right there. And he's like, "Oh, actually, 8 handicap." Within a span of 2 seconds, he switched up, lied, and it's just funny, bro. It's just funny because America claims and wants to be as the best country in the world, and we got so much going for us and everything. But when it comes to political parties and our system and everyone that's in place, the two dudes that we have at the head of these parties are over 75, 80 years old or more?
Yeah.
You telling me that's the two people that we have to pick from to lead this country? That's the funniest thing to me.
Have you seen that meme of like the two people I have to? And memes are the best. That's what I want to focus on, because it was on fire. Twitter was on fire the entire night and morning, and that's all I found entertaining. Because, like you said, we're not changing the world over that debate. It was like for those who watch House of Dragon and Game of Thrones, it was like Joffrey or House of Dragon's king that was like old in his bed, like dying. It was like, these are my two options, Joffrey, like the worst of the worst. And then, so it was just like crazy just to see and then obviously Biden didn't look too good. He said he was sick. He had a long day. He has a
he didn't want to take the drug test.
Yeah,
my boy was juiced up.
Ryan Garcia didn't want to take one either, and then look what happened.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it was yeah. So now he has a bedtime. He doesn't do anything after 8. The golf situation was hilarious. That was the only.
Who's that, Biden or Ryan Garcia?
Biden.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say probably both.
Yeah, the golf segment was awesome. It was funny, and yeah, so it sucks because as Americans, and we should have better options and to lead us in a tough time, and it's always a tough time. I guess in America, you could always say that every 4 years, but that's what we got, and you know, can't take it too serious. All you can do is do your part, vote, and see what happens. But take control of your own life, because that's all you got, brothers and sisters. I did want to touch on one thing that we didn't on the way up here is going to Buc-ee's. For those that don't know, there's Buc-ee right here on my hat. Anybody that travels in Texas, in Florida, driving from south to north or north to south, you'll see Buc-ee's. It's a big ass gas station. Officially, I'll wait for Ford to get back to make my next point, but it's a big gas station, but it's also like almost like a mini mall, if you could say, with they have Buc-ee merchandise, every article that you could think of that they slap Buc-ee, the Buc-ee logo, they have it. They have home decor, they have a wall of jerky, they have food being made in the center every single minute, different types of sandwiches. Then they have their own deli area. It's ridiculous. Me and Bree stops in the one in Daytona on the way to you. Then on the way back home from Myrtle Beach on Saturday, we stopped at the St. Augustine one. And then yesterday stopped at the Daytona one. Guess how much money we spent, not including gas? Because I did
not including gas.
I did the quick number, and I'll just keep it a solid number without gas or including gas. No, without gas, we only filled up twice, I think, there, or once. So not including gas, how much money did we spend on food? Don't forget, we bought food, gifts for ourselves, and gifts for others. So
right, all 3 times combined.
How many? Yeah, all 3 times combined. How much do you think we spent?
I mean, given the fact that you guys you go there pretty often, I'll say not including gas. So I'll say probably $250 to $300. Yeah,
it was $350, give or take. Maybe a little.
That sounds about
less.
Right between 2 people.
Yeah. And it's
3
funny
times.
after I added up, the first time we spent 60, second time we spent like I think it was 140, second time we spent 160. So yeah, it kind of does come out to quick math, I guess, right?
Yeah,
350, 360, whatever.
60,
yeah. And it's funny because we got all of our like meals there to drive. So like I would load up on a couple sandwiches, couple burritos, got you a burrito, and then on the way back. So basically I didn't spend any money on like BS gas station food. I made sure I saved my hunger for that. $350 is a lot, but I got a hat, I got a shirt, I got things for my birthday. I think it's gonna be Buc-ee's themed. So we bought a bunch of Buc-ee's. Yeah. We found the section
That's
that
hilarious.
they have.
I love that.
They have like the Buc-ee tablecloth, napkins, party hat. So I think for how old am I turning? 35. I guess that's a milestone. Am I turning? Yep, 35. See,
Katie.
Start forgetting after 30. 35 in September. It's gonna be Buc-ee's theme. So whoever is invited, let's have fun. But yeah, it was Buc-ee's was a
no, but it's always quality stuff. You can't go wrong with Buc-ee's, and it's an experience. You got to go to the one. There's one in Florence, South Carolina.
I haven't gone to that one. Maybe I'll try to go to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, while you're going up, but I went to that one twice, I think, and it's pretty cool. They're insane, dude. It doesn't matter what time you go there, because as you know, sometimes when I leave South Florida driving back up, I'll leave super late at night. Like I left at like 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night to drive back to Georgia. So I'll pull up to Buc-ee's at like 3:30 in the morning, and it's people there, like just doing whatever. It makes no sense. I'm like, what do y'all? I mean, y'all must be just as crazy as me doing a road trip at this time.
We're not the only ones going there with a full shopping cart. You know, we never had a shopping cart before this year going. I was like, you know what? I'm not carrying a bunch of things. So
that's the thing. You don't think you need a shopping cart and like 2 or 3 times, I'm struggling to carry stuff. I got a drink. I got a burrito. I got some fucking peanut brittle. I got this. I'm like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
But I bought my 30th birthday present to myself. One of them at Buc-ee's. I got a fucking pen. A pen. It's like one of those like really sick pens, like tough ass pen, and it's got a flashlight on it. It's got like a green light on it, and at the top.
Out of all the things they have there, I wouldn't think a pen would come out of your mouth.
I love pens, bro. I've always been a fan of like different kinds of pens. At the top, it's got a little point, and it's to break windows. If you get stuck in the car and you're trying to get out, you can break the window with that. And it charges with a fucking USB-C.
Oh shit!
So that's very, very fucking
Might
innovative.
have to look into that.
Yeah, it's a good pen. It writes well. You twist it, and the top and the ballpoint comes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anybody that's listening that hasn't been to Buc-ee's, go there once, you'll be addicted, and you'll know.
We're big Buc-ee fans over here.
If you explain it,
that's why our colors are the way they are. They match Buc-ee's colors. That went into the whole thought process of our logo.
Didn't even notice that till you just said it. But yeah, if you never,
as I like to call it, the Mecca.
It is the Mecca of the gas station / convenience stores. That's for sure.
And they pay their employees well too. It must be a very fun place to work at.
Dude, they got a sign outside that has all the wages, and I'm like, I think it's like bathroom attendant, no experience needed. It was like over $20 an hour. I was like,
yeah, bro, they pay them people well, like overtime, fucking PTO, they match your shit, all of that. I'm like, damn, general manager's making like 125K. I'm like, shit.
I mean, you could only imagine what you're managing though. So you probably 100%. Earn every dollar.
You're earning that, yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's a wild place. Always fast paced.
I wanted to make sure I threw that out there. Let me see if I missed anything. Boom, boom, boom. Nope. Got it. And then let's see chronologically. Let's keep doing that because we have so many topics. It's better to do that. So the NBA draft was what day? That was that after we recorded too? That was on that Thursday or Wednesday?
Was that last Thursday?
Last Wednesday, first round. So we skipped a day, kind of going whatever. And
I didn't even watch it, bro.
Everything. So yeah, NBA draft. Net for me. The Nets didn't have a pick. For you guys got a good solid player.
I keep seeing a lot. Kellel Ware. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
He dropped like 21 and 11.
26 and 12. He had 26 and 12. Yeah.
I don't care if it's summer league. You're going to get.
It don't matter. 26 and 12 is tough. Anytime, it don't matter. You know, I'm hyped for it. We've been kind of yearning, for that size, a player like that for a while now, especially with Bam playing at the 5 all the time. Bam is tough. Bam is a fucking all-star player. You know, he's gonna be one of the greats in Heat history. Don't get me wrong. But he's not like a 5, and especially how the game is now. I kind of really like him as who the Mavericks got in Derek Lively. I think he's going to help out with that aspect of the game, and he seems like he can do a lot, you know, in the post. I'm excited. It should be fun. The Heat really they have more problems than what they could have got in the draft. I don't know what they got going on in the front office, but.
You guys are in between, kind of
and they can't figure it out.
The hardest place to be. It's the worst place to be in between a rebuild or not a rebuild because you'll never rebuild, like a rejuvenation of your team and like going for it all. You guys are slap dab in the middle, probably closer to rejuvenating your team.
Yeah.
And you guys have developed so many players over the years that all those guys have signed deals with other teams.
Yeah.
Max Strus.
Yeah, Strus. Point guard, what was his name? You talking about Caleb Martin? He left.
Caleb Martin, even a few years ago, Josh Richardson, when you developed him.
And he came back.
But then you guys got new guys that you're going to probably redevelop, and they're going to, overachieve too. So I always look forward to watching the Heat because they have the book on getting a second-round pick or a late first that nobody's heard of and just turning them first into a great quality role player and then somehow into a quality starter. So I have no doubt that the Heat could develop those players. So you guys will be good. It was the first time that I think, or I could remember me personally, that I didn't know or watch anybody in the first 8 pick. I didn't know most of those players picked in the top 10.
Bro, I didn't even know the Hawks had the first overall pick. That's how bad it was. I didn't even know. I got the notification at work. And I'm like,
you do have a lot
the
going
Hawks?
on. So
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And the Hawks were, I think, like a 3% chance or under that. I think 1.5, if I'm mistaken, to get that number 1 pick. The Wizards were supposed to get it. They had the most odds, the Spurs, stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't know many players. A lot of French players. The French team, it's going to be really good in the next 3 or 4 years as far as, Olympics. Next Olympics, you're looking at France probably being the if not number 1 compared to USA, number 2 with Canada being up there and a couple other teams. And then, the big news out of that was Bronny going 55 overall to the Lakers, which we all kind of thought. And, his agent was calling people, telling him, hey, if you pick him, he's going to go play somewhere else. He's going to play in Australia, so don't pick him.
Brother.
Obviously, leaving weight. So what was your opinion on Bronny finally getting picked and that happening? First time ever, a dad and a son get to play together.
So I'm hyped to see that. I think that would be cool just because we haven't seen it. So from that aspect, it'll be cool to watch. But
yeah,
I don't know how it's gonna work. It's gonna be weird just because the age gap, the age difference, who his dad is. If I don't know, his dad was someone who's not LeBron James, it probably would be a lot better for Bronny.
Yep.
But the fact that his dad is LeBron James, there's going to be a lot of expectations. And nothing that Bronny's has put on himself. We talked about this last time we recorded. It's been mostly his dad, and LeBron did have a statement that, again, it is more so about LeBron than it is about Bronny. And I don't know why he does that, man. I feel like it would be a lot better if he did things differently. But
you got to give it to Bronny, though. He's handling it well.
He is. He's handling it a lot better than anyone would. So I think eventually Bronny turns out to be a good player. Not an all-star type player, but he should be solid. I hope he's solid and he gives any team some minutes because I don't think he'll be on the Lakers much longer after Bron retires.
Yeah, he just signed a 2-year deal, opt out after every year.
And that's another thing. It's crazy. I saw a post on Twitter the other day that said the 55th overall pick contracts the last 4 years, and they all were 2-way contracts or something, not guaranteed. And then you get Bronny, and he's got what was it, 2 years, 4.4 or 8.8 million, which he's gonna lose half of that to taxes playing in Los Angeles and California. But still, Bronny doesn't have to worry about it. Bronny's straight, he doesn't need NBA money. And Bron said that. Bron was like, he could have been a gamer, he could have been anything he wanted to be, and I still would have supported him in what he's doing. But he still wanted to hoop, he still wanted to play in the NBA, and he did that. And he had a heart surgery, so I really hope too that that's really what Bronny wanted to do, and he's not just doing it for other reasons. I really hope he wants to be, because he's still young. He's 19?
Yeah, man.
He's got a lot of growing to do still, but Bryce is the one.
Yep, he's going to be playing. Bryce is it's always been said over the last few years that Bryce has more height. He has a more polished game, probably better for college and entering the draft than Bronny. So we'll see how that is. As a fan of basketball, I'm definitely rooting for LeBron Jr. Because it'll only be more fun for the game and entertaining. As far as if his last name or his first name wasn't LeBron, his last name wasn't James, it happens in every industry. Every industry that you can name. If your father is a CEO or president or owner of a company or something, guess what? You're going to get an opportunity. Hopefully you don't get, when you walk through the door, you don't get elected to management without that experience. Hopefully you do what Bronny's going to have to do. Start off at the G League, develop, get better, and develop, and he'll get opportunities that probably another 55 overall pick wouldn't get, but he's still going to have to produce. He's not going to be able to be on that roster in 2 years and be struggling. So he's got a window of his own, like every second round pick has. So there is a scale of, a lot of expectations, and you can make an argument that it could be harder for him in the NBA versus another 55 overall pick. So I'm rooting for him. It'll be fun to see maybe next year, because I don't think he'll be sniffing too much playing time, because Lakers plan to be very competitive. So I don't think he gets too much playing time, but he's going to get all the opportunity in the G League to develop, and hopefully next year that's the year that they play together, and we'll see how that pans out. Any last thoughts on that?
On Bronny, no. I think
Nope.
It's just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, I wish he would have had another year of college. And also that whole his agent saying he's going to play somewhere else. No, he's fucking not, bro. I mean, it's not going to go to
it's Rich
Australia.
Ball, which is in the business. He's in the family, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it helps to have a really good agent that happens to be in the family. Like that.
Did we expect anything else though?
No, it went exactly. I think it with the guarantee contract and everything went exactly how you thought would go. But we'll see how he develops. 6'1", defensive guard. There's a place for him in the NBA. There's a lot of 6'1" defensive guards that could be a playmaker that have long careers in the NBA. I look at the guys like out of Duke, Jones, like Trey Jones and his twin or his brother. Like they're similar players, and they've done very well and played big minutes in the NBA. So he could be something like that, and you just never know. As far as NBA signings and trades, you got the Nets trading away Mikal Bridges for a shit ton of picks. We are in full rebuild. The GM came out today to officially announce it. We re-signed Nick Claxton for a 5-year deal. I thought that was you always need a young signing in your rebuild to at least have somebody. You don't want to have a bunch of no-name players playing. So you have a couple. You got Cam Thomas, who could put up 30 against any team in the league. He has put up 30 points, 40 points against real top-tier defenses. He's still in development. He's 22. Nicholas Claxton is only like 24 himself, 25, 5-year deal. Awesome. Klay Thomas from Golden State to the Mavs, DeRozan to the Kings. What other big ones were there?
I didn't see Klay Thompson. That's weird, man.
Yeah?
That's weird.
It is going to be weird.
Yeah, just because of the fact. It was, but you would think it would be Draymond.
That's what the talks were, but I think if Klay doesn't have those couple injuries that were devastating, that changed his game, and
he's wearing number 31.
Is it 31?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept on seeing on Twitter, no aura with that number.
None.
There's a couple of solid 31s in the league, Jared Allen. Just kidding. But we'll see how it goes. 31. Mavs got the taste of the NBA Finals again. And why not go after it again? They're adding Klay Thompson, so you would think naturally they got better because they got young guys as well.
He has that veteran leadership, you know, someone that's been there multiple times and can kind of mentor Luka in a different way, mentor those young guys in a different way than, you know, Kyrie Irving can. So it's a good move for sure. But I don't know. Is he going to be better than Tim Hardaway Jr.? Of course. You can't. Yes. It's not much.
Yeah, upgrade on that end for sure.
Is he going to start? Probably not. But I think that was the thing. I don't think he wanted to come off the bench in Golden State. And that was where he was headed.
And he was headed there, and that would be that wouldn't be good for both parties. So, you know, it was a mutual thing where, you know, some had to give, and instead of making it ugly, and I think that's what good organizations do. Let's not make this ugly. Let's have a grown-up conversation, professional relationship where we say, hey, we don't have the money to sign you. We don't have the roster right now. We're going to move in a different direction. We want to make sure you get an opportunity. I think it was a sign and trade, so it worked out for everybody. So we'll see where that goes. But a couple other either signings. Man, NBA money is insane. I'm just going to rattle off some either extensions or – you know, Paul George goes to the Sixers. Maxey for the Sixers gets a new deal.
As he should.
Let's see who else. What's his name? Got a stupid deal. Shout out to Bob. Franz Wagner is getting paid at the age of 22 years old. Played 3 full years. Great numbers. Career numbers 18, 4, 4.5, and 3. He just got paid $52 million a year. That well-deserved according to how this money's going. So you can't say he doesn't deserve it because he's got all the potential to, you know, for the next few years to put up 25, 5, and 5. So
he's making more money than Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, it's insane. I would say another argument in NHL is
salary wise.
Yeah, salaries will go up in the NHL. McDavid, the best player in the modern era, right now is making $11 million a year. The best player on the planet playing hockey in a growing NHL is making a fifth, which is insane. A fifth of that. So obviously,
and
NBA,
he's gonna be able to keep that because he's in Orlando. He's in Florida, so
great
he's
state
keeping a lot of that money.
Paid in. Derek
Chris
White
Paul
got a huge extension.
to the Spurs,
going to the Spurs.
Yucky.
Just rattling off, and you could anything you name. There's a lot of players. A lot of players stayed with their team, and the money. Free agency used to be a big deal. Being able to move around since the LeBron era, but now a lot of teams, a lot of players stick with their team because they can make more money, or they do a sign and trade when it doesn't work out. But NBA has set up a system where the NBA is making billions of dollars. They're Adam Silver's running the league on a high level right now, and these players are getting paid, and rightfully so. NBA keeps breaking records, viewership is up, interest is always up. So these players are just taking advantage. It's funny. I texted Bob the other day. I was like, Franz Wagner just got paid $52 million a year. And when the last couple of years that Kyrie and KD were on the Nets, they were getting paid high 30s, low 40. Like, to think that in just 2 years, a 22-year-old is making $12 million, $15 million more than the elite players in the league is nuts. Tatum signed a big deal.
Where's that biggest one in history, right? That's the biggest. Tatum got the biggest in history.
Yeah. What do you think that
do with it?
It doesn't end. It doesn't end, right? It's going to keep going up. If Franz Wagner can make 52,
like the cap for players.
How much is Wembayama going to make in 2 years? Because they're going to try to sign him early. Don't let that 75
a year. We're going to be talking soccer numbers soon.
Yes, soccer. You hit it right on the head. Soccer numbers.
I mean, the good thing is the NBA is a worldwide sport.
We're going to be talking ownership of teams. Like, hey, in your contract, you could own a minority stake in the team, like something like that.
I don't think they've done it that far.
They've done it in baseball. Well, all right, maybe not when you play, but maybe like, all right, if
you get a guaranteed spot in what
stay with us or something like that. They did that. I think if you're talking soccer, they did that with David Beckham. David Beckham, when he came to MLS, in his contract, he had an opportunity if he wanted to own a team or expand, and that's what happened. I think Albert Pujols, he got an opportunity with either the Cardinals or the Angels, built in his contract not to own it while he played, but like stake if he wanted to do something afterwards. It's an opportunity just to give a little bit more incentive to these guys to stay or sign with them. That's all I got for NBA. Any other things? Any thoughts? Signings? There's probably so many that we could name, but there's a lot of money being tossed around.
No, but since we're on hoops, basketball, we might as well just get into the Olympic team.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think this Olympic team is crazy. There was a lot of posts on X, Twitter, the best AAU team of all time. How they were walking out, with their backpacks and slides, bouncing the ball.
Yeah.
So this roster is Bam Adebayo, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, day-to-day Anthony Davis, KD, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid. I don't like that. Tyrese Halliburton, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Jason Tatum. And you got Steve Kerr, Mark Few, Gonzaga head coach, Tyronn Lue, and Eric Spoelstra, coaching staff. That's a crazy coaching staff right there.
That's an all-star coaching staff right there.
That's a lot of championships, a lot of rings.
That's crazy.
And then, you look at the team. Drew Holiday and Jason Tatum just won a chip. Anthony Edwards is young. He wants to prove himself. KD, we know what KD is. You know who I am. Steph Curry, Bam, Bron.
Who are the bottom two players on that team?
In terms of talent, or in
Just
terms
overall,
of
like who would play? Like, obviously, I think this team is different. I think they stay deep. I think they don't want to play a KD long minutes. They don't want to play Embiid and a Leonard. I think it used to be back in the day with like the Kobe teams. It used to be 8 to 10 players play, and then there's 4 or 5 guys that just sit on the bench. It just, they knew just being on the team, being young, 22 years old. Now you got 22-year-olds that it's like they're all pro players that should play active minutes on this team. Who do you think are the bottom couple players on this team, which is insane just to say?
I mean,
Halliburton.
Yeah,
like
I was just looking at Halliburton.
Bam is talented, but I would throw Bam in there as far as
as far as playing time. Yeah, I mean, I think Drew's going to get a lot of playing time just because of his defense.
Everybody.
He can guard everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, probably Halliburton, Bam, Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi's going to play that much. Kawhi doesn't look like he cares about basketball anymore.
I was going to say that too. I think like people like Kawhi, AD, and Embiid, those are the 3 guys that I think they coach their minutes early and often as far as how much they're playing and practicing. So that's why I think the younger guys, Anthony Edwards came out today, said he's the number 1 option. They got to build around me.
He did say that.
I
love it. I love it.
What other NBA player at his age has ever said something like that and can say something like that other than him? No, nobody.
Yeah, especially around that talent and all those players. That's such a crazy thing to say.
with 90% of Hall of Famers, 95% of Hall of Famers, he's like, they gotta worry about me and get me the ball and build the team. And
he got
that's who he
Bron.
is. Bruh. And I guarantee you, every player probably agrees with that. They probably agree that he got his experience last year with playing with the team that lost, with a bunch of Mikal Bridges was on that team. But that it's gonna be fun to watch. It's good.
Who's the starting 5? Who's the starting 5?
Let's see. Ooh, you got Tatum in there for sure.
Steph at the 1.
Holy shit! Go ahead.
Steph at the 1. Bron.
Okay.
For sure.
AD KD. In there. AD KD. That's 4. And you got to throw. Embiid. And you got to throw. They got to throw Bron in there. I think it's
Bron's starting. 100%.
I mean, not Bron. You got to throw Tatum in there. So I think it's Curry, Tatum, Bron, AD, KD. Because you got to give the vets, the guys that have been a part of Olympics teams, their starting job. They can't lose it. So I think that's the 5, which is insane because you take the other 5. What's the backup 5 to that? Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Drew, Booker. Bam.
Bam, because he can
Embiid
guard and Bam, Embiid, and who's the other maybe hybrid in there?
Halliburton.
Oh my god.
Anthony Edwards.
Forgot about Anthony Edwards. Oh my god. This is gonna be very fun to watch. I would hate to be.
I'm excited
because someone's gonna be mad that they're not.
What do you say? What do you say as the opposing team, as the opposing coach? What do you say to your team? What do you say to your country? Just play for your country. Don't dishonor.
Yeah.
What do you?
I mean, the first conversation that you're going to have with that team is, hey, egos aside, we're playing for one reason. We're playing A to win. A for our country, B to win, or B to win, B for our country, whatever comes first. It's probably 1 and 1A. And then you got to kind of maintain the egos. That's why they have the coaching staff that they have, because those are guys that prove that they're Hall of Fame coaches and have that experience that they could talk to guys on that same level, that there's not going to be any ego. There's not going to be any showing up, mad faces at the end of the bench, because when it comes crunch time and it comes to semifinals and finals to win, you're going to put out the guys that are healthy and proven. KD just got hurt, calf injury. And we all know what happens when you get a calf injury at that age, or at that age in your 30s, is calf injuries lead to the A word. Mm-hmm. And it's a fictional character in the movie Troy, if you ever seen it. Usually leads to something devastating. So I think that's already something that KD's got to look out for. It's gonna be fun to watch. They play in it's in France. It's in Paris. So 6
Paris,
hours ahead.
Olympics.
So games won't be like they were 4 years ago, where I think they were in China. So it was like watching games at like 6 a.m., which was annoying. You wake up, and if you don't see the ending score, you kind of watch it on DVR or whatever, like I did. But now we're able to watch it. Games will probably be at like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, noon time, prime time.
Oh, well, so
like
July 10th, they're playing in Vegas. So
yep,
what
that's
is that?
Warm up.
Friday?
Okay.
Yeah, Friday, 10:30.
Yeah, they're going to play some warm-up games. Yeah, they're going to play some warm-up games.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the late
play. That's crazy. They play 5 days later in Abu Dhabi.
Wow. Interesting.
Again, 2 games in Abu Dhabi against Australia and against Serbia, and that's at 12 noon.
Damn, think about what the
2 games in London.
Think about what Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday got to go through. You just exhausted yourself. They didn't have a quote unquote too tough of a playoff run, but it's still playing deep in the season for another year. But obviously Tatum's young and he's pretty much injury free. But maybe they value Drew Holiday's minutes to not overrun him too much, because guess what? Season mini camp or whatever you call it starts back up at the end of September.
Right after,
so
yeah.
You got to get ready. You get like probably 30 days off after all this. And now that you just said they're playing in Vegas, Abu Dhabi, then going to Paris, it's a lot of flying.
They got themselves in a pretty straight state group. They got Serbia, South Sudan, and Puerto Rico. Shout out Puerto Rico, man.
Shout out Puerto Rico for sure. That's always my team that the little guys that, yeah, because you got teams like Canada that are super young, and Canada close to the USA. It's like that little step-headed red child cousin of United States, where you're right there. You just and they got a squad too. France has a squad, so it's going to be good quality basketball we're watching under international rules. So it's a different game. We've seen it. Just because you have the best talent in NBA, these guys, the guys in Europe especially, they're used to playing these rules. So it's a little different game. It's different from the NBA, less ISO ball, a lot of moving the ball around and down low. So you'll see a different game. So interested to see how they play. So that's it for the NBA. Covered that a little bit. Olympics. Let's see, going in order a little bit. Let's do recapping UFC 303. This happened the day after I seen you. I was able in Myrtle Beach. I was able to go to Buffalo Wild Wings right when I got there. Got to Myrtle Beach around 5 or 6 o'clock. Got something to eat. Went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the main card, and then went back home because I was with a bunch of girls that weren't interested in watching UFC till 1 a.m. So I went back, watched it on my iPad on the balcony. Real quick, what did you think about UFC 303? If you want to pull it up just for reference, did you watch it live, or are you kind of in and out?
Yeah, I watched it live from about I caught the main card live, but I mean, shit, this card was all over the place since it started. There was a lot of fights canceled. We were supposed to have Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. Yeah, we were supposed to have Anthony Smith versus Carlos Uber. We were supposed to have Jamal Hill versus Carlos Uber. We were supposed to have Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. And then the main event, of course, was supposed to be Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler. We didn't get none of that. He broke his toe, McGregor did. Chandler's still, man, pulling out the curtails. He hasn't fought in over 2 years trying to get this fight. I wish he would have just fought and something would have happened. Yeah. But none of that happened. I mean, Ian Machado, Gary, Michael Venom Page, I missed that. Machado won by decision. And then we had Mayra Bueno Silva against Macy Chiasson. Bro, that was gnarly. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see
the cut? It was on. We were talking, but it was kind of on, yeah. Was that the one that was bloody?
Yeah, super bloody.
Chicks, yeah. Macy going to the ring. No, I mean this in no offense at all. The way her hair is and the way she carries herself, I thought it was a dude only because I wasn't watching the intros that much, and I was like, I seen her come out, and then I kind of looked down and I seen the other person come out. I'm like, wait, never mind. It's a women's fight. I wasn't sure. I thought we were doing some co-ed fighting for a second, and I'm not even saying that as a joke to be funny. I literally thought something was going on here. And then the next fight, Anthony Smith. Oh, you brought it. Yeah. Take it away quick so we don't get. Oh, yeah.
Gnarly cut. That's a lot of blood. Gnarly.
Yep. Second round, too. Early second round.
Yeah, so that was a doctor stoppage. That fight ended right then and there. And then you had Anthony Smith, Roman Dolidze. Boring fight. Anthony Smith doesn't fail to disappoint with the boring fight. And then
a lot of fights under his record, 38-20. Sheesh.
Yeah, 38-20. Yeah, he's been around for a while. But yeah, he needs to stick to commentating. But I'm not gonna fight him. And then co-main was supposed to be Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez, man, he's a warrior. That dude's gonna fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. And then Dan Ige stepped up because Brian Ortega was having some issues when he was cutting weight.
That was crazy to watch.
A nap. He had 103
hours going in.
Yeah. Ortega had a fever, couldn't make it, whatever. And then, they called up Dan Ige like 3-4 hours before the fight, and they're like, "You want to scrap?" And he took it, and it was a good fight. I mean, it went to decision.
Yeah,
you got someone coming in three hours before, bro. Think about it. It doesn't matter what it is. If I'm just chilling at the crib and my job calls me and they're like, "Hey, we need you to come in," I'm like, "Bro, come on."
Different circumstances, but
it's totally different. But I'm trying to like normalize.
No, I know what you mean, though.
I could have been doing whatever. The fact that they called this guy, he was already there. He's like, "Yeah, let's go." That's a lot of respect to him.
I think
he's gonna get a lot of more fans than he already has.
I think they should. UFC. It happens too often. Especially it doesn't happen as often for UFC pay-per-view. But man, they might start doing some alternative, like have an alternative guy in the wings just in case something happens. So it teaches every fighter that wants an opportunity, be ready, be in training camp. Don't get lazy because you could have that opportunity call you that same day. Obviously, that's not ideal. It's never happened like that. But man, that same week, you better be ready condition-wise and ready to fight at all times.
You need to be ready.
Yeah. What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Time me for something. Bree, why are you FaceTiming me? All right, well, don't do that. Thanks. Now I can't get myself off the screen. Hold on. Wait a second. I'm looking at
main event.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk.
Main event, Alex Pereira, Yuri Prochazka 2. It was a rematch. Shout out Alex Pereira, man. Another dude, just anytime, anywhere, whenever, don't matter. I'll fight. McGregor pulled out because of a broken toe. Pereira was recovering from a broken toe. And he went and fought. And this dude is probably the biggest name in the UFC right now. Just the fan base that he's built in, 2 years? The fights he's had. He knocked out Sean Strickland, then knocked out Izzy, was a champ in that division. Moves up to light heavyweight because of champ real quick. Talking about moving up to heavyweight, possibly. That's insane. This guy,
he's destroying people left and right. Popping Zins. He's destroying people, bro. He's doing it in a fashion where it's like he ain't going the distance. He's not leaving it up to the judge. He's just mollywopping these tough ass dudes,
right?
And knocking them out cold with a kick, with a punch, a left punch. Last fight, like
it doesn't matter what it is. I watched the video. The craziest thing. He knocked down Yuri at the end of round 1. He's on his back foot, leaning back, so he doesn't have that like great of force or torque or anything on that punch, and he still lands it and knocks another dude that's like 6'4", 235, 240 down.
But he didn't hear the bell, so he was like, "Come on!" And then he was like, "Oh, shit, the bell rang. Let me get up." And then once that happened, he was dazed, and you knew his minutes
round
were numbered coming into that second round.
Seconds were numbered.
Yeah, seconds were numbered. Literally 13 seconds into the second round, as I'm seeing now. Yeah, great card. Considering what
I think Pereira now has like 3 of the top 5 biggest gates in UFC history, which is nuts because he was UFC 3. He did UFC 300. Dana White gave him $300K bonus, and then he was joking around and was like, "Oh, Dana should give me $303K bonus now," and Dana did. He's like, "I got a lot of supercars already. I want a Cybertruck."
Are we eventually seeing at one point early next year him, Pereira, and John Jones if he moves
I want
up?
to see it.
Right?
I want to see it. I think any MMA, I think any MMA fan wants to see that just because of the power this guy has, and I don't think it's that big of a mismatch, to be honest, because Jones is old. He's a cokehead.
His matches.
He's an alcoholic. He's coming off an injury. He's got one fight in like 4 years.
You never know what off the personal life he's gonna do, and also injury. So got to take advantage of. No,
you want to see that. That's the fight to make. 100%.
Yep.
100%. That's a fight to make.
And then what we have going into this week, we have our girl, Tracy Cortez. I'm always gonna root for her for many reasons. Thug Rose in the main event for
Thug Rose, baby.
And it's already talked about. She already said if she wins, she wants a fight on that the Mexican Day in the Sphere.
Tracy Cortez? She wants to fight Alexa Grasso? Yeah, right. It's levels to this shit.
Yeah, you're right. She would have to win in.
She's two more wins.
Yeah, no, usually that. But what I'm saying is, you never know when opportunity comes. If you handle your business in strong form, people get behind you, people want it. Dana White's not afraid to make fights that probably shouldn't happen. So you're right. She would need a couple wins coming off. So, I think she's only fought a couple times in the last few years, right?
Yeah, she's got one fight since September 2022. Tracy Cortez is number 11, bro. She's not.
Yeah. But I love the confidence where it's talking before, and that's what keeps buzz. I think we get a lot of talking in men's fights that the women, hey, do the same thing. Promote yourself, try to overachieve, and you might get that opportunity. You might get that one fight. We've seen it with what's her name a couple of years back. I forget her name. Fighting the Lioness. That was my girl too. What was her name?
Oh, you're talking about Pena?
Yeah, she not similar,
Pena
but like
sucks.
got an opportunity. Won, you know what I mean? Won the belt, and hey, I haven't seen her since after she lost the next one. But you never know when your opportunity may come. You got to take advantage. She's made millions probably off that fight alone, winning that belt for that long, and then
Yeah, no, she's fighting Thug Rose, and then let's say she beats Thug Rose, she still has Jessica Andrade, former champ, Macy Barber, who was supposed to fight Erin Blanchfield, Manon Fiorot, and Shevchenko.
All right, so she's got an uphill battle.
No. Yeah, if she wins, she's not getting a title shot. She's got to beat two of those girls.
Well, you know why I'm rooting for her. I want to see more Tracy Cortez. That's all I'm saying.
You can follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I do. So that helps. Masvidal fight with Nate Diaz.
Got robbed.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I was watching on my iPad in the hotel. First of all, that fight going on after 1 a.m. It
was late. I was falling asleep.
Criminal. That fight
ended at I had the TV on and I was still falling asleep.
Bro, I was exhausted from the week and the day of travel and all that.
And it was only a 10-round fight?
10-round fight. I think it finally went on after 1 a.m. and it went off right before 2 a.m. And then I wanted to watch it just in case something wild happened. And Nate Diaz was active throwing punches, but man, he was throwing punches that were like,
bro, Nate slaps like this.
Yeah, he was doing but Masvidal, I thought I wasn't even, when you watch a fight with less audio or no audio, and then you watch one with, my audio was real low because Bree was next to me, so I didn't want to put it too loud, and it was late, so I was almost trying to fall asleep as the fight was going on and see what happened. But audio was real low, so I was just watching punches, and so I had nobody in my ear telling me how I should think. And I was thinking that Masvidal was active, throwing more power and controlling the fight, and somehow, the judges went in a different. You said he got robbed,
man. It was
Dre said he got robbed. Yeah, he's in California.
It was in Anaheim. He definitely got robbed, bro. I mean, Nate was active, but it wasn't anything that did any damage.
I don't think Masvidal complained too much after the fight.
I mean, what's he gonna say? He was talking a little bit of shit after. The funny thing is, bro, you had 30 minutes to do something, and now the fight's over. You know you lost. You got 17 people in front of you and 17 people in front of the other dude, and now you want to get active and talk some shit. Bro, you had a whole half hour to do that shit in a fight regulated where you could do whatever you want to the other person.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't respect that, bro.
But those dudes hate each other, and you could tell there's respect, but there's zero love, because even Nate Diaz, when he answers questions, he's like, "Yeah, we're fighters. I respect anybody who fights. I get it." But I don't really like dude. Like like he handles it like a G. I love his honesty. He's like, he's not gonna sugarcoat it. He's just like, I don't know, like I don't really like dude, but sure, I respect him because he's a fighter, but like I don't like him. And MASVIDAL has a promotion on his own. He's making money, so shout out him. Shout out 305. Shout out Cuba.
305. Cuba.
But yeah, I mean, he represents us, so we got to show him love always. So, and then the other thing that the other fight that went on right before that was the Shakur Stevenson fight, which I didn't know too much about. Other buddy, I don't think most people did. I had it on the TV while I had the main card on my iPad, and it looked boring. And then I turn on, and then next thing you know, in like the 9th or 10th round, they keep showing people leaving. And I'm like, let me put the volume up on this. And everybody was complaining on Twitter about how boring the fight was, how inactive it was. Nobody was really throwing. It was bad. It was a bad look, because I think that Stevenson's fight was supposed to set up for, what's his name? I forget, just so many names that we talk about. Jesus Christ. Who's the man that in the same weight class? Javante.
Shakur.
Javante Davis. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of talk on Twitter, like if he showed out, he could ask for an opportunity, but everybody was like, Davis would destroy Buddy if that's the type of effort he's going to put towards it. So that's probably not going to happen. But hey, great combat sports in the summer, and that's what we got to hope for every other Saturday, or at least a couple times every month until sports come back in October, right?
Yeah, playoff baseball.
So that's it for shout out baseball. Speaking of baseball, All-Star, All-Stars were announced. Yankees 6 of their last, they're 6-16. So after a hot start, we started hyping them up. We started getting a little too confident, typical Yankee fashion in the middle of summer. They blow like a hooker.
They haven't won a series in over a month.
Yeah, man, it's been bad. Injuries, lack of play, all of it. I thought, we were winning. We were at the height when Garrett Cole came back, and now it's all down. But it's a long season, 162 games. They still got another, 70-something games left. So they could easily turn it around. You never know in baseball. All-Stars just happened. The guy for the Pirates starter just is made the All-Star team. Skeens, man, his stats, his numbers, everything looks like a superstar. Now the only debate is, should he start? I don't think he should. Making the All-Star game is one thing. Let him pitch, obviously. He'll face the best of the best in the AL. But home run derby, it's a good little break in the summer. Lets you know summer's here when MLB All-Star weekend is, and I think that's in probably next week, I would say. I haven't looked. Oh, my banner still says Let's Go Panthers. I forgot to delete that, but anyway.
Yankees 3-7 in the last 10. It's tough.
Bad. Real bad.
And Orioles are 7-3. Got 3-game lead in the division right now.
Yeah, and I think they were 2 up before, so they lost 5 games, which isn't all bad. It could be a lot worse. I think Orioles they started playing a little bad during our stretch too, so it helps that they weren't winning many games. So all that matters is winning our division, because you don't want to play in that wild card game with the rules now, because then that leaves it up to a 1-game elimination. Then you play another 3 games or something like that. So you want to win the division. That's all I care about. Don't have to be the best team. Don't have to have the best record in the AL or Major League. Just win your division and go from there. Any other baseball talk? Anything on that end?
No, not at this moment. I do have a topic for later on, though.
Yeah, you could do that topic, because the only other topics I really have Giants Hard Knocks first episode was last week, and I just actually watched it today because I wanted to lock in. When I was in Myrtle Beach, I couldn't really lock in on some things. It's great to see this version of Hard Knocks off season. I was really skeptical on when the Giants were announced. I was like, all right, I get it. They're doing a lot of off season moves, so it's going to be interesting. I just hope that we don't embarrass ourselves in a national audience. And first episode, it was great to just see the GMs talking, because usually we get the GMs talking about the current roster, but now you're getting to see how trades are made. How, I don't know if you watched it, but you should. If you have, I think it's 40 minutes. So if you have 40 minutes this week, check it out. It airs every Tuesday night. It really goes into, draft. They're going to go into the draft probably next episode. They just did some backstory stuff of how they want their team constructed, getting a new defensive coordinator. It's really good to see. NFL always nails it. They're like the NBA. Not too many things they could do wrong as far as production and showmanship and putting a good product out there, whether it's on the field or off the field. I thought it was a great way to show fans about how a team is constructed, whether it's a Giants or anybody, trying to look to make themselves better. And the fact that it's my team, it's even cooler because I get to see, all right, get to know our personnel, but also get to know our players a little bit. So definitely check that out if you're just a football fan, and I definitely suggest it to you for it.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, Hard Knocks.
Yeah, no, I'll tune in my own time.
That's cool.
Possibly. I'm not too worried.
It's a
about
quick episode. It's not anything you gotta say it again.
I said I'm not too worried about the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, but that's why I brought it up. Like, if you're just a football fan, and it's a good, because if you ever watch Hard Knocks during the season or before the season, it's a way different perspective of how they go about it. So whether you're a fan of the team or not, it's very cool to see how the draft process is. Calling up another GM, like, hey, first round and a second round, no, call him back. All right, we'll give you first round, second round, and then we want this. It's just cool to see how those go down, because as a fan, we don't ever get to see those. We only see the tweets afterwards and maybe the reporter reporting on it. We don't really see firsthand how it's going down. So very cool, a different perspective of building an organization. What's your topics that you want to talk about?
No, I was going to talk about something else, but I'm going to leave it because it's probably lengthy.
All right, at the end. All right.
It's just a topic we could really talk about whenever, honestly.
All right.
Good. But we do have on here what's on in the lab, another HBO Max show, or just Max now. I've been watching Righteous Gemstones. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
My manager
is that the
at
one that you
Publix
told
put
me
me
about?
on. It's with fucking what's his name? Danny McBride.
What's it on?
And it's on Max. And he's a fucking pastor. He's a preacher with his dad and his buddy from Workaholics. What's his name? Adam.
Okay, so got you. What's it called?
Brother.
I'm going to text it to you.
Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
That shit is hilarious. I've been watching it the last few days.
I'm going to just text it to you so I have it in our chat so I can always looking for it. Now that it's a summer, me and Bree are always looking for new shows to watch.
Yeah, that shit's funny.
I'll get into that.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
What else you watch?
House of Dragon. Been watching that.
Turned up.
Yeah, goodness. About time. I'm laying on the couch. She's like, where are the fucking dragons? Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Where are the fucking dragons? 2 seconds later, she's like, now we're fucking talking. I'm like, yes, let's go.
Bro, I was a big hater of season 1. Mostly I liked it. I enjoyed it. But there was a lot of things that I didn't think production-wise that they could have done better. But what me and Bree just did was we're caught up. We love the first, 4 episodes? 4 episodes. They've nailed every minute of the 4 episodes so far, so much that we're like, let's go back to season 1, episode 1.
I was just about to say that. We did
that last night.
I told her last night too. I was like, damn, I should have rewatched season 1 before starting season 2. And it's also made me want to rewatch Game of Thrones, which I haven't done since the last season.
Dude, I've watched Game of Thrones in its entirety from start to beginning about 4 or 5 times since it debuted. So rewatching the first season now, because we just watched season 1 last night, then we banged out a couple seasons today. watching it with the perspective of what you know now, whether it's names, you already know how they're going to think 10 years from now, whenever the timeline goes. Watching it now and knowing what's going on in season 2 gives it so much more perspective and understanding. So I now can say, looking back at season 1, I now 4 episodes back into season 1, I now appreciate season 1 a lot more. I just didn't like the timelines, how they didn't formally announce that, boom, we're skipping 6 months. Boom, we're skipping 3 years.
Yeah.
It was just like in conversation. It's been like they didn't put a banner up 3 years later, 4 years.
No,
it was
at
just
all.
like you had to really lock in and understand, like, oh, it's 6 months. Oh, wait, there's another baby. All right, so a baby takes 10 months to make. All right, the baby's 2, so that means it's 3. Like, you have to really pay attention to that shit, which is fine.
They did a better part this season because Allison was like, oh, I just lost my husband a few weeks ago.
And they try to drop little gems, but it's so hard to, if you don't watch that show on subtitles, I don't know what you're doing.
You have to.
You have to be able to pause and rewind it, because you could be locked in. You're missing some things that are like silent or said, and you have to go back. So, and then obviously watching the recaps after and stuff like that with the production team, it's a must. So I'm back on House of Dragons heavy. What's another show that you're watching or that came out?
Oh, The Boys. You season The Boys?
Yep, I'm caught up on that.
That show is great, man. That show is great.
So if I'm going to give one credit, it's hard to do multiple seasons with that crazy concept. The plot of that show has dipped over the last couple of seasons.
Season 4 is not as great as like 2 or 3. Yeah.
The best part of that show that I love is introducing new people with powers and the jokes. The storyline and the plot, to me, I just don't get. I don't want to get it because that's not why I watch a show. It's just all over the place, and it's a fun show, is what I'm trying to say. The plot of it, they're still trying to get Homelander. They're trying to. It's like, all right, the show
I need
hasn't
something
evolved.
from the next episode.
Yeah, like, come on, show us a little something. It's a great show. It's very different. It's graphic. It keeps up with the times. So it's very 2024, basically politically social issues. So that's always good. Another episode that I have down is The Bear. Just restarted watching that. One. Yeah. We just started it last night, right before House of Dragons. It's that's a chaotic show that you got to be not locked in for, but it's very fast paced, fast dialogue. So first episode's very slow, but then episode 2 and 3 is just boom, 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 boom. You got to really pay attention because it comes at you fast. And I like the pace of that because it's very different from House of Dragon. That's all I have on my end, bro.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to say, this man Sketch, the streamer, some leaks. It's like all this social media drama. Sketch. Yeah, Sketch is cool. Sketch is funny. I don't know why they did that to him, bro. That's messed up.
Did you see the newest video that came out about an hour before we recorded? So it came out around like 6 or 7 o'clock. He came out and he admitted it was him and he was going through a dark time. And, hey, we're not perfect, right? Good thing he's a genuine dude. Yeah, you could play it.
He is a genuine dude.
Look at this. Open and honest. That was me.
He said, look at this. Open and honest.
That was me. It's okay, though. I will tell you what. Okay. 2 years ago, I did some stuff. I'm sorry if you've seen some of the stuff. I'm a changed person.
I did not have sex with that man.
Bro, hilarious.
It's going worse than I thought it was. So 2 years ago, I did not have sexual relations with that man. I'm just kidding. I did. Possibly.
Yeah, he walks away.
See,
catch up, man.
That's why I'm telling you, if you're a fake person, that's why like news like this would come out and it would destroy your career, right or wrong.
What else do I have to say?
He's been genuine since day one.
Thank you to all my people that have been sticking up for me.
Even more now.
I understand if you're mad.
I understand if you're mad.
How could you be mad? What
She
Right.
ain't
what
the
would people
fan.
be mad about?
Okay, I was dealing with some addiction problems. A couple of them.
We all have.
How old is he? Is
But
he old and he just looks young? Like what?
No. I think he's definitely older than 21, younger than 30. I could put him in that. I'd put him in that 24, 25 range, give or take. But yeah, I learned about sketch probably later than most people, and then when I started seeing, I thought he was an authentic dude. He's funny, charismatic. He's genuinely himself. And then there's a video that came out after, and he said, and he really broke down. He was like, I knew this would come out eventually, and now that it did, if I didn't have my family and people that cared about me, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. So it kind of hits home. And I love that because in this day and age, it's like, how many people do we talk about do dumb stuff? They lie about it. They deny it. They try to hide from it.
It's 26.
He came out immediately within, 26. So basically,
Yeah.
He came
Still
out right
kid.
away within what, 12, 15 hours of coming out. And he was like, this was me. This is what I did. And, going through a hard time then, I'm still working through it. And regardless of what it was, it's like, it don't
matter.
In my opinion,
It don't matter.
it's an innocent crime where it's like, it's not a crime. First of all, it's an innocent thing. So for me, in my perspective, the way I look at it is like, all right, it's a little weird. It's a little like, whoa, didn't expect that. But when you watch his content before this came out, genuine, open, treating people nice. If you want to judge somebody and stop following or not like somebody because of those reasons, and I've had conversations with my close friends about this, is not to get detailed, but like, hey, if any of you guys have like my friends, like we've talked, like if anybody came out, opposite sex or doing something on whatever that I didn't know, if I stop being your friend, I'm the person that should be looked at like weird and judgmental. Because it's like, if you're not friends or you support somebody because their sexual orientation or a time in their life where they were confused or going through stuff, then you're the weirdo. Then you're the person that has bad character. And that's my opinion of it. I'm just keeping it vague in general because we're all human and we have friends that either go through things like that or have to pretend to be somebody that they're not, and they have things that they like, whether it's personal, and as long as they're not hurting anybody. And in my opinion, he didn't hurt nobody. So there's no victims, only himself in a way, you know what I mean? To make it real. He's the victim in it.
Yeah, he is the victim. I mean, it don't matter, bro, how many people fucking do OnlyFans to make a buck.
Yeah, bro.
So I think this is just only gonna make him more popular, more people stream him, and more people fucking subscribe to him and do whatever, especially the way that he came out and what he said.
Addressed it. I love that. Love that.
It's no such thing as bad publicity, baby.
Yeah, man. 100%. Now it'll be interesting to see his followers and his content to see where the real phonies were from corporations. Because a lot of corporations, NFL, all these media streams were supporting him, having him on as guests, doing little TikToks with him, taking advantage of him, his success.
Right.
Now it'll
to get
be
more fans.
funny.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see how many of those same corporations and companies either try to forget or stick with them. And that will really show. You want to talk about how you support the month of June with the LGBTQ, all that. No, because there's companies that we support, we loved it. And then when shit hits a fan or things a little rough and somebody comes out, are you standing on that same hill that you support all people? Because when you do support in June, those people, and I don't mean it as a derogatory, those people, I just mean that group of people, let me say that better. It's like you're supporting all of them. Don't nitpick who you want to. You're supporting whether it's a mentality or a lifestyle. And so I'm more interested to see what happens just as a social experiment in a way, just to kind of see how it plays out. But I won't speak for you, but don't change for me.
Facts.
I still like the dude. I think he's funny. I think he's entertaining. And I think
He's
now
hilarious.
even more so, He's way better than all the other people that we idolize. Because how many people do we all, actors, come out with stuff that whether it's true or not, they come out and berate and defend and deny, and it's like, bro, we know it's true. Just say it. Like, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I respect someone more for being who they are and living their truth than trying to fake it and being someone completely different. I thought that was funny to touch up on, but that was
that was good. I wasn't gonna touch up on it because it was so new and fresh that I didn't want to. I didn't want to address that like most people are. What?
I said that's why we had to jump on it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's true too. Any last? Appreciate everybody for tuning in, locking in with us. We're gonna work on having some guests. So
go on the whatnot app and go to 5900.
There you go.
5900 whatnot. Stuff. He really does. He really does. He'd be snapping.
That's the Broward.
Yeah, bails for sales and everything. Crazy. I hope everyone had a happy and safe 4th of July.
Yeah.
Fucking celebrating the release and freedom of taxes, only to keep being taxed again.
Now we enter. There's no holidays for the next couple months. No major things. Soccer's still going on. We got the Copa America semifinals Tuesday and Wednesday. We got the Euros Tuesday and Wednesday going on. So that's basically it. Soccer, Olympics coming up. That's gonna be fun to talk about Olympics.
Yeah.
We might not.
So much sports.
So much. Yeah,
so
we might not be
events.
able to show it, but we'll be able to talk about it, and that'll be fun. So we'll have plenty of content. We'll get some guests up on here, so you don't just have to listen to us. Appreciate everybody for subscribing, showing love, tune in, whether it's, for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or tune in every single week to us talk about nonsense. That's it. Episode 129. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Tell a friend. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama, enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace. Spread love.
1.